Do not be ashamed by your failures, learn from them and start stronger. He'd experienced severe hearing issues, which were variously attributed to scarlet fever, mastoiditis, or a head injury. He couldn't seem to focus or sit still. Teachers would recognize him as having a learning handicap nowadays. Back then, they merely claimed he was unteachable. He was a disadvantage. As a result, his mother took him out of school and set out to teach him herself. She was aware that her son was far smarter than his teachers believed. And she noticed that he was always thinking of new methods to solve problems. He learned how to use a telegraph in his first employment, when he was a teenager. He noticed that it could be improved, therefore he began inventing new and improved telegraph devices. His most famous innovation, the light bulb, is the perfect example of his method. He experimented with almost 1,000 different methods for harnessing energy to produce light. He was adamant about not giving up until he discovered the right material. He is regarded as one of history's greatest innovators. The light bulb, the phonograph, the world's first movie, the stock ticker, the talking doll. He holds over 1,000 patents. He possessed a razor-sharp mind, without a doubt. But the man who was dubbed a genius by everyone maintained his success had nothing to do with intelligence. He attributed it all to hard work. He was known for staying up late working and falling asleep at his workbench. If he needed to solve an issue, he would forego meals and sleep for only a few hours every day for weeks on end. He simply never gave up. He would keep working, no matter how long it took, until he found the ideal method to accomplish things. Why failure is a natural part of the success path and why you should accept it. Failure is the best teacher in life. Failure is necessary for growth. It is life's ultimate lesson. Failing will happen regardless of how hard you try to avoid it, so you might as well embrace it. This does not imply that you should expect to fail, but rather that you should accept failure when it occurs. Failure will force you to realize your full potential. To attain your full potential, your own best, and to make the impossible feasible, you must push yourself to your extreme boundaries and not be afraid of failure. When you embrace failure and have a no-fear mentality, you will increase your motivation, determination, and perseverance. Failure teaches you character and humbles you. Nobody wants to fail because it hurts our ego. Failure humbles you and forces you to reevaluate your situation. When your ego is in charge, you will not learn from your mistakes, will not be receptive to other people's perspectives, and will not be able to understand the issue properly. We must study, assess, and listen to others in order to see what has to change in order to succeed. Your ego will constantly want to be correct and will stymie you and your accomplishment. To be successful, we must recognize that we were mistaken, assess, learn, and move on. Failure shapes who you are as a person. In this world, there are two types of people: those who take failure personally, see it as a permanent problem, and give up, and those who utilize it as a learning experience, do not take it personally, and regard it as a temporary setback. It is natural, human, and unavoidable for us to experience an emotional low after failing. However, how we react to our failures defines our path to success. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, as Edison once said. In other words, having a good idea is only the starting point. It is the effort you put behind that idea that produces the outcomes. Being an innovator, according to Thomas Edison, is about working hard and never, ever giving up. And most importantly, learn from your failures.